Looks like we live in here. Let a couple people get on real quick. Got a very unique live going on tonight with Facebook and YouTube going at the same time. So far, I got 2 people on my live here on YouTube. What's up, Daniel? I don't see anybody on my live as far as Facebook is concerned, but that's okay. All right, so I got 11 people on my YouTube, 1 person on my Facebook. And it's my sister. Okay, I got 3 people on my Facebook. 4 people. I was gonna wait for a couple more people to get in. What's up, cousin? Popping right there on YouTube, but it's not really popping on Facebook. But that's all right. Just wanted to link both of them thus far. But we're gonna go ahead and start getting into this right here. So what's cracking, everybody? Just thought you would all benefit from this little discussion that I'm going to be having right here. I have linked my YouTube with my Facebook, not linked it, but I'm going live on my phone, on my Facebook, and I'm live right here on Prism to discuss some things that are coming down to the pipeline, and also talk to some of yous out there that are on my Facebook that may not be subscribed to my channel. And this is the opportunity to go ahead and give it a subscribe. But what I really want is I want all of you to pay close attention to the things that I'm going to say right now, because this is very important what I got to say. All right. Regarding, and first off, on YouTube and on Facebook, can you guys hear me okay? Send me a thumbs up if you can hear me all right. Let me know you can hear me okay on YouTube. Looks like everybody can hear me right? All right. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start having a lot of internet issues. I'm actually in the process of trying to switch to Cox Cable because they have a better internet service. Unfortunately, with this pandemic going on, they will not be taking any new services in. So I'm pretty much stuck with the internet I got for now. So that's okay. That's all right. We're just going to roll with it, though. But it just takes a little longer to upload videos because apparently the terminal that I'm on, like 3 other people are on it. And I don't know what the deal is, man. AT&T is just janky. That's what they are. They're the shot out. But what I really want to talk about is the videos I dropped this week. See if anybody's got any questions. When I talked about GP and the S&Y yard, a lot of people wanted to know what that paperwork was. Well, I'm not going to say whose paperwork it was. I mean, you can basically fill in the blanks to see whose paperwork it was. In regards to how and you tell me what's up with you, I will respect you. It's the people that try to hide is the ones that I don't respect. If you're willing to stand your ground and to stand up and say, you know what, I took this road and this is why I did it, well, good. I respect that. But if you're trying to hide and pretending you're somebody you're not going to respect that at all. That's just the way it is. All right, now on to the big one. So I left a Facebook post, as a lot of yous know. For my YouTube subscribers, you saw the video I dropped. For those of you on Facebook that are with me and you're not subscribed to my channel, you probably didn't see the video, but you saw the post. And for some of you that are on my YouTube, you probably saw the video but didn't see the post. Here it is. Now, it's getting to be quite annoying. for people to so loosely use the word racist. They just let it roll off their lips. It's like we're living in the days of the Spanish Inquisition. It's like we're living in the days of the Salem witch hunts. Everybody wants to accuse somebody of being a witch. Everybody wants to accuse somebody of being a racist just because they challenge the status quo, just because they go against the grain, just because they are trying to point out things to you that are going on in this world that you either don't want to see or refuse to see. Bottom line. In regards to the elote lady, the elotera, it's there she's called, who got robbed in Los Angeles. This has been on the tail end of a very nasty race war that was going on in Los Angeles between the African-American community and the Hispanic community there in Los Angeles. This race war had gone on for well over 20 years, probably even longer, but it was really at its height in 20 years. Now, I see some of the people on Facebook are already tuning out because that's what they do. Like I'm saying, they cut out, they cut off. They don't want to hear the truth. This is the truth, people. There was a freaking race war going on in Los Angeles between African Americans and Hispanics. My bad that I wasn't more clear on that. My bad. I figured that everybody knew about this. I mean, shit, it only went on for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people died, man. Children, women, elderly people, innocent people that had nothing to do with gangs at all died in this race war. A lot of these gangs had gotten together and finally decided to try to make peace. They worked hard to do it. And for the most part, everything started to get better. It started to get more calm over there in Los Angeles. And then these two kids robbed this elote lady in such a way that was so disrespectful and so damaging, traumatic for this woman that she may never want to ever go out into the streets and hustle that corn again. The media refused to cover it for God knows what reason. People were on there trying to make excuses saying it's because of the coronavirus. Well, let me tell you this. When CNN can report about the Netflix series, The Tiger King, I'm pretty sure they can find time to talk about the elote lady. That's just my opinion, but whatever. But the thing of it is this is nothing new. And there was actually other posts that were around Facebook, that were on IG, even on here on YouTube, people that were outraged about the lack of coverage, the indifference, and about the potential that this has to explode into another race war. Now, I know there's some social justice types out there that think that racism is only dished out by white people, but it's not true. Racism is a disease that it doesn't see no color. It affects everybody like a disease, more so than the coronavirus. Every race has its faction of racist people in it. It's just the way human beings are. It's a flaw. It's a design in our thinking. When you don't challenge it or when you don't confront it and when you try to ignore it, you just make it worse by doing that. You make it way, way, way worse when you do that. And for some people to get on my post and call me a white supremacist, call me a white supremacist for sticking up for a Hispanic elote lady, you know how fucking ludicrous that sounds? What kind of a white supremacist or a member of the Ku Klux Klan or anything would stand up for an elote lady? I mean, tell me right now, which one would actually fucking do that? They don't care. They wouldn't care. Why would they speak on it? That's how fucking stupid and idiotic a lot of these SJW people are. That's why I can't get on board with that shit. Why would I want to get on board with something that looks at me like I'm the devil? That doesn't make any sense. Why would I want to support that? What am I, a sadomasochist or something? What do I like do I like inflicting pain on myself? No, I'm not going to do that. People need to realize, man, that we must come together as a people. All of us, period. We live in some serious, serious times right now. We are dealing with a pandemic, and I have other information out there that scares me even that much worse about this pandemic. The thing of it is we are in a time where this entire world could just shut down. We could possibly be looking at some Mad Max type shit. If any of you have ever seen Mad Max, you would know what I'm talking about. Very, very good possibility that we could be heading into some Mad Max type bullshit. Now, I know a lot of people are on here are various different political ideologies, and I respect everybody's viewpoints. One thing I got to tell you all right now is I have friends on my Facebook that come from all walks of life. I got a friend on my Facebook who's a member of the Hebrew Israelites. If you know anything about them, they don't normally like people that look like me. I got people of the Nation of Islam in there. I got people of the Moorish Science Temple. I've got people from various other brown power organizations, and I've probably got some white supremacists in there too. I'm just keeping it real. I have learned to basically stay detached from anybody's beliefs or ideas of the world, because I look at it as this. As long as you ain't killing my family, as long as you ain't physically harming me or trying to do me any damage, then I basically respect your beliefs, man. I got people that are of all walks of life, all sexual orientations and all that in my Facebook who follow me here on YouTube. That's the way I am. I will debate with them. I will point them out when they're wrong. And if somebody says something out of pocket, I'll get at them on the side, and I'll tell them, hey, man, your comment was out of pocket. Yesterday, apparently, a couple of people made a couple of comments that were out of pocket. I addressed it, but I'm the bad guy because I didn't address it fast enough. Sorry, people, that I'm not going to rush to hurt. I don't sit here and watch every comment as they pop up. I got a life. I work a job that sometimes demands 12, 13 hours out of me. I got to run around and scramble around and get ready. It takes me a lot of time to do these videos. It takes time for me to clean my house, wash my dishes, wash my own ass. You know what I'm saying? Brush my teeth, comb my hair. I don't shave my head anymore, so now I got to comb my hair. That takes some time. It takes time to do this do, man. It takes some time to get this do going. Put on my clothes, get my shit ready, make my coffee. Jason M., thank you for the $1.99 donation, or is it $5? Well, thank you for that, brother. But yes, it takes a lot of work to live my life. I don't have people doing all this for me, man. I don't have a team of experts and assistants running around, following me around with a fucking dustpan and a wet rag cleaning up after me. I do everything myself. I don't live with mommy. I don't have people posting my videos for me. I don't have anybody pushing my books. I don't have anybody doing any of that stuff. I don't have anybody helping me with criminal justice reform. I'm doing it myself. Why? Because I try reaching out to people in the criminal justice reform world and they ignore me. Yeah, they give me a little, they pet me a little bit, they pet me a little bit, and then they tune out, man. They just ignore me. I do a lot of stuff that a lot of you probably are not aware of. Plus, I have family that you know what I mean? That sometimes I got to do some things for them. My niece just moved on and she's out on her own now. You know, and I took her and her boyfriend some food the other day. So I'd spent all day last Saturday cooking for them. I don't have a social life. I'm not married. I'm a single man. I don't even have a girlfriend. You know what I mean? or a boyfriend or whatever. I don't have nothing like that. I don't have a life at all. My whole life is you guys. My whole life is about basically giving you my perspective on things and my opinion on things. Am I right all the time? I don't ever say that. I don't ever come on here and say that I'm right all the time. You have to listen to me. You got to do your own homework for a lot of this kind of stuff. But it's like I said, when I reported this story on the elote lady, that shit got blown way out of fucking proportion. We are talking about a lady that was strangled, put in a chokehold and strangled, robbed, and laughed at. And she was racially profiled. But people don't want to address that, and they don't want to talk about that because, I mean, it's obvious the reasons why. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are feeding this misinformation, this collective racism theory, and that's what it is, a theory, that only the people that are the ruling class could be the racists. Everybody else can't be racist. But that's simply not true, man. There's such a thing also that goes with collective racism. It's called individual racism. And it's just as bad as collective racism. Both of them exist side by side. You had a race war in Los Angeles for 20 years. I didn't make that clear. I lost some friends behind it. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't make that clear that there was a African-American and Hispanic community race war going on in Los Angeles for 20 years. I thought that everybody knew about this. But apparently I was wrong. I mean, shit, it was only talked about on that movie First Watch. It was only brought up on Gangland in a 3-part series. It was talked about on the National Geographic Channel on PBS. I mean, shit, I thought everybody knew about this. There was gangs, there was rappers, there was people that were involved trying to bring the peace to Los Angeles. It took a long time to get to just the fragile ice that it is now. And for these kids to do this, what you don't understand is it's dealing with two communities that used to be at war. That would be like us going to war with Iran, and then it ends, and then Iran flies over Washington and drops a fucking missile on the Washington Memorial. It's going to kick off a war. We reporting on that story is a means to bring awareness to it, and the way that it was written is we have to stand together and do something about this. How does that have anything to do with white supremacy? Please, somebody tell me. Maybe I'm blind. I don't know. Not everything in this world that goes wrong has something to do with Trump and white supremacists. Sorry to tell you guys, but it's not. This is something that was going on long before Trump. This is something that was going on way far detached from white supremacy. White supremacy has nothing to do with this race war. This was a gang beef. It was a changing Los Angeles. More Hispanics, more people from Guatemala, from El Salvador, from Mexico are moving in there. And a lot of these older African-American communities feel like they're being invaded. That's their words, not mine. So don't put those words in my mouth. So it causes problems. And it was a war, gang wars. Shit, it was talked about in the movie First Watch. And if you don't believe me, go watch the movie. Or go watch Gangland's episode on race wars in Los Angeles, if you don't believe me. Go look around on YouTube and on Facebook. Go watch Dubs' video on it. Look at his outrage. And then to make matters worse, another elote man was just robbed the other day in Wilmington. So you see what I'm saying? You see the point I'm trying to make to you here? That if we don't report on this stuff, then you can't address it. You can't confront it. It would be like when Dylan Roof went into that church and shot it up. If all the news media just ignored it, we're not addressing that. We need to address that shit. Dylan Roof needed to be addressed. Same thing in El Paso. What if nobody reported that? Can you see what I'm talking about here? Can you see the outrage here? You have to report on it so that more people become aware, more people have a sense of urgency. You already have a pandemic going on in the world. Pour some gasoline on top of that. With this kind of shit in Los Angeles, what the fuck do you think can happen? It was really despicable and disgusting the degree of ignorance that was being displayed on that comments feed, on that Facebook video, on that Facebook post. It was disgusting. It was despicable. And those people that were involved in that should be ashamed of themselves. And I'm glad they unfriended me. Good fucking riddance, you piece of fucking shit motherfuckers. Pardon my language, but good riddance. Get lost. Because your ignorance and your hypocrisy and everything has no place in my world. My world is all about equality for all people. We don't judge people in my world according to what their skin color is, their religion is, or sexual preferences. We don't judge people in Big JD's world like that. We take people for what they are, for their ethics, for their integrity, for their honesty, for their hard work. That's how we take people. We don't look at color in JD's world. That fucking skin color optical illusion bullshit, maybe what keeps you guys breathing, but it don't keep me breathing because I don't look at that kind of stuff. I don't get into that. I don't subscribe to it, man. There's no reason for me to subscribe to that. It's just ignorance. It's stupid. You're never going to exterminate a whole race of people. And you got people that are on the radical left side of politics. They would love nothing better than to kill every single man that looks like me. Every single man that looks like me. They would love to do that. But that'll never happen. It's unrealistic. So what do we do with that knowledge? How do we move forward? We come together. We are all faced with a virus that can potentially kill all of us. And guess those elderly people? Loves to kill them. Loves to harm them. Loves to do damage to your lungs. Permanent damage. 20% damage to your lungs it could do to you youngsters out there. And the thing of it is like people like to say that I defend Trump because I mention him. I'm only mentioning Trump because I believe that it's unhealthy to people constantly be talking about him every day, day in and day out. You want to know something? While everybody's so busy wondering when Trump is going to blow his nose or when he's going to leave another tweet or what kind of an offensive word he's going to say, let me tell you this. Hundreds of nurses and medical assistants in Italy have died over the last couple of weeks. And guess what? They didn't die from the coronavirus. They died from overexhaustion. And they ran out of supply. So some of them went home and actually exposed their loved ones to that virus as well. In the midst of all this stuff that's going on, I just ask people to put the Donald Trump glass pipe down for about a week. Just put the Donald Trump glass pipe down for a week and get out there in the world and start becoming more involved in how people are feeling about things. Not only the coronavirus, but how people are feeling about each other. You know, try to understand your neighbor. Try to come to, better understanding of who you live around. Try to learn more about people's cultures. You have a golden opportunity right now to do that. You have a golden opportunity to learn about your neighbor. We all live in this country called America, and some people may not like the name America or may not like the United States, but we live here together. We are all neighbors, essentially. Put the Donald Trump glass pipe down for just 1 week. Just 1 week. Go to TA, which is Trump Anonymous. Put the pipe down and get out there and learn a little something about your neighbors. Learn a little bit of something about the people around you. Find out about these nurses and these medical assistants in Italy that are dying because they're working their ass off to try to fucking save people's lives. Maybe donate some money to them. Maybe go out and collect some aluminum cans, turn them in, or do something and involve yourself in your community. Knock at your neighbor's door from a social distance and ask them if there's something that you could do for them. Mow their lawn for them. But all this division, all these political lines and everything, all this shit's got to stop, man. It's got to fucking stop, dude. For reals. If anything, my Facebook post proved just how ignorant and just how deranged a lot of people are. And just how far their hatred for other people go. And I know a great deal about hate because I lived in a hateful environment for over 20 years in the prison system. Straight evil in there. That's what it's all about, folks. It's all about pulling together for each other. Because guess what? I lost a lot of so-called friends, and I found out that they were never my friends to begin with because they abandoned me. Instead of trying to be objective and try to like ask me like, well, what do you mean? Well, what's this about? Well, what is any? Some of these people don't even know what an elote lady is. Didn't even do the research. Did nothing to try to be objective and figure it out. A real friend would have said, hey, man, well, what do you mean? Well, what happened? What's going on? What do you mean? But instead, they got triggered. And a lot of that was intentional. For my YouTube community, my subscribers, my fans on YouTube will tell a lot of you on Facebook. I do that. I bait people. I bait people so that I could see where they're really at. See where their mindset's at. It's like a fishing line. The best way to reveal your enemy that's closest to you is by triggering them. And I did that quite well. But guess what? For the about 20 or 25 people that I lost that were never my friends or my supporters to begin with, I gained about 60. You know where I really stand in my life. You know what I'm all about. You know my background. You know what side I was on in the prison system. You know all these things. That's why I had people in my family, like the woman that I call my sister, Elijah Medrano. Her dad is like my dad. We call him Daddy Ray. That's my family. To me, my boy, Elijah Crumpton. I had him on my YouTube channel. That's my brother too. Many others. People that laughed at these loons that were on here with their fucking outlandish, weirdo, fucking absurd, hardcore, fucking too far to the left thinking. You know, I'm all about progress. I'm all about progressivism. I'm all about social justice and social change. But I'm not a fucking a neo freak about it. I'm a pragmatist, man. I like to go with what works. And if I think something doesn't work, I'm not going to be on board with it. If I think something's too overbearing, or if you're trying to demand respect, or you're trying to demand that everybody feel a certain way about you, you're not going to win. You're never going to get nowhere with that. You have to command your respect. And in the eyes of a lot of people, you have to earn it through time and through getting to know that person and letting that person get to know you. That's how the real world works. You can't just stroll up in somewhere and just demand that everybody bends over backwards for you. It doesn't work that way. Life don't work that way. And you got a lot of people that are still in this country, still in this world, that are still have a lot of backward ass thinking. And you just have to let that die with time. Time heals everything. And that's just where I stand. But when these people come on here and assassinate my character, they're lucky they weren't standing here and say it to my face. I promise you'd be a whole nother outcome. Let somebody talk to me the way a couple of these people talk to me on the side on a DM, came at me all fucking stupid and sideways. They're lucky they weren't standing in my living room telling me that shit. You would have seen a sign of JD that I don't ever want. Very kind-hearted person, and I'm willing to help everybody. There's a woman that's on here that follows me. I don't see her on here now, but she could be dying. She's actually in the hospital awaiting her COVID-19 test. She may be experiencing the last days of her life. And I was talking to her earlier, and I'm trying to figure out a way to get her in communication with her son that's in the federal prison system right now. And those motherfuckers ain't answering the phone. Period. And they're on lockdown. You know how that touches my heart? Because my mother died when I was in the feds. So I know what that could possibly be like for that young man. He may never get a chance to say goodbye to his mother. God, I can't even imagine. If I would have never got a chance to say goodbye to my mother, I don't know how that'd make me feel right. I'd probably have to go through therapy. I'm just keeping it real. I mean, I'm not a Superman. But yes, this is the kind of shit that I do. This is what JD does every single day of his life in service to everybody else. Living the spirit of my mentor, Victor Vyasalanda, who was the head elder of the Essene Church of Peace in Bethesda, Maryland. Some of you that were following me last March, you saw pictures of when I went out to see them. That's my spiritual family right there. They're all about selfless service. Their whole lives revolve around serving other people and helping them. Helping the homeless, feeding the homeless. Day in and day out, that's their whole life. My selfless service is to the men and women that are suffering from incarceration, the men and women that are considered to be returning citizens, all of us that are counted under the clause in the 13th Amendment that says that we're slaves. And guess what? That 13th Amendment clause, it doesn't have no color line either. It affects everybody that's a felon. Time to wake up, people. Really, it's really time to wake up and see the bigger picture of everything. Especially, like I said, with this coronavirus. And I'm a firm believer. You can call me a fucking tinfoil hat, as a matter of fact. I actually got my tinfoil hat right here, ready. You call me a tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist or whatever you want. But fucking on the real note, I believe that COVID was spread on purpose. It was like two kids playing with matches in the forest, and they tried to burn up some brush, and it caught the whole forest on fire. And now it's out of control. Now they don't know how to fix it. Now they're just like, they ran away from the scene, hope that nobody saw them. It takes one person to spread a virus. One person it takes. And I just watched some shit that somebody sent me the other day of some fucking some soap opera from South Korea or something. That shit fucking blew my watching. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of shit going on. My boy was just telling me that he was in the Walmart over in the city of Paramount. He's on my YouTube right now. Shout out to my boy Wino right there. He was in the Walmart in Paramount. He said, and this is California, mind you, not a ne'er person in there was wearing any gloves. Nobody was wearing any masks. And there was hundreds and hundreds of people in this Walmart. And there's a law in California where you have to wear that shit, but people don't care. They're just running around in there like that. No gloves on, no masks on. And then they wonder why this shit spreads. You got to take this serious, man, because I'm telling you, we may be heading for something that we may never be able to come back from. Pure and simple. On a positive note, though, how about that hairdo, huh? Hair still looking sharp, even though there's no barbershops open. It's not going to look like this for very much longer because they just extended the lockdown in my city until the end of April, which means no barbershops until May. I may have to go back to the bald head. Don't want to, but I just can't. I don't know. I guess I'll just let it grow out. Fuck it. But anyways, that's pretty much all I wanted to share with you guys. I wanted to connect my YouTube and my Facebook communities. I haven't really been on my Facebook for some time, really. I started getting back into it lately. But I got to tell you, and this is the last thing I'm going to discuss, and I'll leave you guys back to your social distancing and Friday nights. This is the last thing I'm going to leave in here. I left Facebook for a lot of reasons. One of the main reasons is I felt that I was getting no help from anybody, right? I had a lot of people that were giving me thumbs ups. I had a lot of people that were tuning in to my lives, but I didn't feel like that anybody was really trying to push the Stand for Something Life message out there. And I was about ready to go broke. I was working in a shitty paying job. The job was great, but the pay was terrible. I was about ready to go broke if I didn't find a new job. And I was holding on because it was a career path. Culinary was something that I love. I love to cook. I love culinary. But the reality of it is it wasn't making ends meet. So I had to let it go. I've been constantly reaching out to some of these people in the criminal justice reform world. I was supposed to talk to somebody today, and I was a few minutes late, man, because I had something going on. Like I said, man, I got a lot of stuff going on too, but the person didn't even text me back. So I got to tell you guys that there was a moment when I had gotten a message from somebody who told me that I should just step back because I don't qualify to be a frontline soldier in criminal justice reform, because they said that my white skin is like my prison experience wasn't as bad as everyone else's. And that really affected me to hear that, because I had sacrificed a very long time of my life to help people. I had basically gave up like a whole year of my life. I turned down relationships that I was trying to start up with certain women, all these different things to do this, and only to be told that my skin color doesn't qualify me, that I should just sit back and be a cheerleader. And I'm not willing to do that, man. You know why? Because I've been gifted with the gift of gab. I'm a very good public speaker. I'm a very good role model. I'm very assertive. I'm forward and upfront with everything that I'm telling you. I don't talk out of both sides of my mouth. What I say is what I am. And I'm constantly finding solutions to help people. And plus, my own example for the success that I have created for myself in getting out of prison this time is something that should basically be on front stage. They should be asking me more, how did you do this? Because I go to the probation office and I ask them, give me one person that was dropped in the middle of a city and state they've never lived in with nothing but $38 and a shirt on their back. Give me one person. They couldn't find nobody. Nobody. Looks like my back on YouTube. Looks like I dropped connection for a second again. For a second. Nobody. So yeah. Nobody wanted to help, man. So I got off of Facebook. But I'm coming back a little bit. Like I said, I'm doing a lot on YouTube and I'm looking to grow that. I got a book coming out, The Laughing Boy. I got a couple of proof copies on the way, and I'm going to be giving out a free copy to 3 different people that have agreed to read them and give me their honest opinion about them. But I just wanted to let all of you know where I stand and where I'm at. I love each and every one of you. And although we may not agree on everything, I'm with all of you. So I got a little video I put together I'm going to be dropping tomorrow about this coronavirus. My take on it, about some stuff that I had heard. And it's crazy. But I don't put nothing past this celebrity elite power structure. I don't put nothing past these governments of the world. I mean, shit. Haven't you ever heard of that Tuskegee? What is it? Tuskegee experiment where they infected all them dudes with syphilis back in the 40s? How about the atom bomb? How about the blankets filled with smallpox? How about the bubonic plague? The Mongols spread that into the West so they could destabilize all of Europe and take over the Middle East. I don't put nothing past any of these governments, man, and I don't put nothing past this elite power structure. They're insane. And they don't give a fuck about any of us. Pure and simple. But yeah, tune in for that video if you agree, disagree. Leave your comments, do all that stuff. I'm going to go ahead and tune out on here on Facebook. I'm going to try to read some of these comments. Tune out on YouTube. I'm trying to, like, so many comments. I don't know if I can check them all out. But each and every one of you that left a comment, much love. If you have a question, any of you have a question, get at me on DM on Facebook. Get me at me on DM on Instagram. Man, so many comments on this YouTube. I can't. 103 people tuning in on my YouTube right here, folks. Facebook. 103 people. 102 now. 100 now. And 23 on my Facebook. So you can see why I kind of like, let's see. Good thing about you guys on Facebook, all your comments, I'll be able to read them once this live is over. YouTube, I can't. I'm going to go ahead and tap out on here on Facebook. If you guys want to continue watching this on YouTube, go to my YouTube channel, Prison Break Raw. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that share button. And let's get with it. But I'm gonna tap out on Facebook right now. I'm gonna check out all these comments on my YouTube. And I'll be back, Facebook. I'll be back, man. You know, I made a dramatic entrance with the last few posts that I was putting up. But I'm gonna come back and mess with you all again. All right. Love, Facebook. See you guys later. All right, YouTube, it's just you and I now. See what's up with the comments. White powder, bro. That's White Boy said. That's funny. Everything's political. Virtuous to Spartan. Absolutely right, man. People try to politicalize everything. Backwards ass thinking all over Facebook. Couldn't agree more. There's a lot of that on there. Out I see on here. Let's see. Ranting Dropout, are you still on here? I can't go all the way down. This freaking thing is in my way. What do you want to have a debate about? Coronavirus or my Facebook post? What's up, Gas Monkey? This is the part where I interact with you guys now. Your comments. So many of them, I couldn't look at them all, but I appreciate you guys leaving them. Chicano Azteca. What's up, brother? Lady P, thank you for that. I hope I'm inspiring somebody. I hope I'm not making somebody perspire. I feel like I want to perspire right now. You know what I mean? I feel a little sweaty right now. I had my heater on a little too long. Kellyanne, are you asking me if am I working? Do I look like I'm working? Am I looking sexy enough for you tonight, Kellyanne? Well, thank you. Appreciate that. That's right. Dick slapping people with reality. That's what you got to do sometimes, man. You got to make people uncomfortable in order to make them listen. That's the best way that you could get through to fucking people. You have to make them uncomfortable to make them listen. And when people get mad about shit, it's basically because, number one, there's some truth to it and the truth hurts. Number two, right? Some way, shape, or form, you're addressing a blind, something blind. It's called a blind pain in them, something that is basically something that has to do with them. It's very rare when people get mad at you, when people attack you. Very rarely does it have anything to do with you at all. It's all about them. You know, when people attack you and try to smut you, it's usually all about their problems that they have with themselves on the inside. You know, you could like expose somebody. You can, come out and talk a lot of shit and roast and do all that. That's what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is like when people like basically come at you with something that's like way out of pocket over something that is like they totally didn't listen to what you said. It's basically means that you're addressing a topic that has some validity to it. So it has some validity to it, then basically, they don't want to hear that, and it makes them mad. It gets them upset. So they automatically retreat back to the insults because that's the only comeback they have to deal with it. And for those of you that donated some feria on here, much love and thank you. You don't really have to do that. I know it's hard for you guys. It's a hard time. I'm not really hurting for money right now because I'm an essential worker. So I would ask that if any of you are thinking about donating to this channel right now and you are not an essential worker and you haven't gotten your government stimulus check yet or anything like that, I would just suggest that you save your money for things that you need because shit, I should be donating to you. You know what I mean? I should be trying to donate to all you guys that ain't working right now. I wish I could, man. If I won the lotto, if I won the Mega Millions or the Powerball or something like that, man, I would be helping a lot of you out, man. You guys, I would, because there's no way I'd be able to spend all that money in my lifetime. I'd be trying to hear anything you got to talk about as far as business ideas. Look at me like George Soros. You know what I'm saying? For reals. That's the kind of person I am, man. I'm all about public service. That's what it means to be a libertarian, man. Like help people get on their feet. Productive people means that you're more productive. Teach a person how to fish, they eat for a life. You know, feed a man for a day, he eats for a day. Teach him how to fish, he eats for a lifetime. Isn't that how the old saying goes? Exactly. Carlos Mason, what is a libertarian? Well, a libertarian, we could solve most of our problems without the government's interference. And a libertarian believes that the government should only be an instrument in order to build roads, keep the fucking country safe. Of course, you're going to need a police force. You're going to need a military. You're going to need roads, things like that. If we're paying money to the government, it's an investment for our well-being, not for their pockets, not for them to be driving in nice cars and flying in Lear jets and staying in fancy hotels and making $300,000 a year just to sit in a chair for 3 months out of the year and then be on vacation for the other fucking 9. You know what I mean? That's a libertarian is all about the people. And it's a lot more pure of equality and everybody's equal than the other two parties, believe you me. Because the other two parties, they both have bigotry directed at one group or the other. Whether it be the poor, whether it be people of different sexual orientations, people of different religions, skin color, whatnot. Both parties have a history of doing that. Not libertarians, though. Libertarians don't. What do I think about Trump and how he handled the coronavirus? I think that the biggest problem that Trump has in the face of this coronavirus is I don't think he saw it coming. You know, I think his advisors gave him a lot of bogus information on purpose because I think a lot of people that are in his cabinet are secretly trying to sabotage him. Trump likes to work with a lot of people that he considers to be his friends. And have any of you ever read the book, The 48 Laws of Power? Have any of you ever read that book, 48 Laws of Power? The 48 Laws of Power, and one of those laws, it's keep your enemies close, and keep your friends close, keep your enemies close as well. Something to that effect. I don't know how it's exactly worded, but basically in some it says that don't use your friends for anything because your friends will always be consumed with envy and they will secretly sabotage you. Instead, try to figure out how to use your enemies because your enemies will do everything in order to impress you. But Trump, I don't think he saw it coming. And I think that the fact that he that this coronavirus hit and he knew it was going to fuck up the economy that is pretty much the high wave he's riding on. I think he went into a little bit of denial for a second there. And because he's just like, fuck, he just got out of an impeachment, the Mueller report, all this other shit. And now this virus. So it kind of like, well, goddamn, man, now this. So I think in the beginning, he tried to like downplay it as if it wasn't important, but it didn't matter what he did or what he said because this virus was going to spread no matter what Trump did. It could have been Obama in there and the same result would have happened because this thing is, like I said, it was deliberately spread. And when something is deliberately spread, you can't stop it because there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of people that are involved in making sure that it spreads. So, yeah, and that was another one. He stopped flights from China, and they called it racist, so they stopped that. And guess what? A lot of those places that take a lot of flights from China, mostly New York, Seattle, LA, those are the hardest hit areas right now. So, yeah. But yeah, I think yeah, with Sandman, that's exactly what I said. It's like what I said is I believe that Trump went into denial mode over this because he saw it as, damn, man, it's, you know, it's like you marry the woman of your dreams, right? And you can't see anything but her beauty and how she makes you feel, and then somebody tells you she's cheating on you. You don't want to believe it at first until you already see, learn to take a step back and let the people that know what they're talking about actually deal with it. So I commend him on that. But still, it's like Papillon has said, you know, the flu kills more people every year than this coronavirus has so far. So Cookie Love, no, I don't. Just me and the kitty. We live here solo bolo. But yeah, everybody, I'm gonna be dropping this video tomorrow. Hope you enjoy it. I'm not gonna spoil the surprise of how it begins, but when you see it, you're gonna freaking trip out. You know what I mean? You're gonna fucking trip out. Because this shit tripped me out, man. It scared the shit out of me when I saw it last night. But I'm all alone on this Friday night. Any willing lady out there looking to have some social distancing phone sex with me tonight, hit me up. That was so random, wasn't it? That shit was just straight random out of left field. Anyways, yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and chime out, guys, because it's been an hour of your time that you've been dealing with my mug right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and head off right now. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in and listening to my 2 cents and my rant about how I feel about things. I hope this clears up some of yous out there that may have had a different opinion about me. I hope now this makes you understand a lot more of where I stand, where I'm at, what I do with my life. I'm all about helping people, man. And yeah, I'm an arrogant, sarcastic guy, but you know what? I have a lot in my heart for people. I do. And I do a lot to help people, man. And I love each and every one of you. You guys are the greatest. Yes, JD needs love. All right, Billy, I'll give you a ring in a little while. JD does need love. JD needs that. I need as much love from you guys as I can give you. So that's what it is. Anyways, Prison Break Raw, uncut, uncensored, no holds barred, non-sugarcoated, non-politically correct, all up in your face, slapping you with that. Anybody want to finish it? What are we slapping them with? Somebody got to leave it. Come on, we're slapping them with what? Next comment's going to be it. Dick of Reality. Jordan Jacob, hit me up, man. Hit me up on IG, and I'm going to send you a signed copy of my new book that's coming out, because you were the first one to hit it. Love you guys. You guys have a great night.